Welcome back to the Soft Tissue Revolution podcast version 2.0, where we teach manual therapists a new treatment system that will allow you to cut your treatment times by at least 50% so you can stay healthy, avoid the dreaded burnout, and help more people get out of pain so they can stay the hell away from pain pills, injections, and surgeries, which only make things worse. My name is Dr. Matt Maggio. I am a soft tissue injury treatment expert, specifically for neck, shoulder, and sciatica pain. My focus is on diagnosing and treating scar tissue and reducing inflammation from chronic injuries without the use of drugs, injections, and surgeries, which does lead to a significant increase in overall functioning and long-lasting pain relief. No gimmicks, just results. So I've been MIA on the podcast for Look Today. It's been almost 2 months. A couple things happened. Life decided to throw me a bit of a curveball. I'm not one to share a ton of personal information, as everyone has their own problems and struggles, and most people sharing all their problems and their struggles are really just looking for a lot of sympathy and to be a victim. I hate victimhood shit more than anything, where people are like, oh, this happened to me and my life is so hard. I'm a fuckhead and I haven't got anywhere in life because of this. It's like that victimhood stuff. And before we used to feel bad for when bad things happen to people, but now we applaud them and we're like, oh yeah, you're so brave. Bad shit happens and shitty things happen that aren't fair and out of our control. But most people use that as an excuse not to do anything or sit in self-pity. It does suck when bad things happen, but it's still your own responsibility to deal with them and overcome them. So what's happening with me? So I work directly with my wife. And back in 2020, we moved to Iowa from Florida. I know that sounds a little bit crazy when I tell people that I went from sunny Florida to Iowa. That is crazy. Well, I admit it is crazy. But we moved back because she wanted to be closer to her family. Especially after everything that happened with COVID. She wanted to be closer to her family. That's where she's from. And I ended up closing and selling my practice in Florida that I really worked for, 8 years to make a success and busted my ass. But my relationship with my wife was more important, and that's what she wanted. So we picked up and relocated back to Iowa. And working with your significant other in your business is extremely hard. It's really frustrating, and all the wear and tear of all that really just caused our relationship to go bad. And about 2 months ago, we decided that it'd be best to part ways and get a divorce. Yeah, that in itself is it's really fucking hard. I've been going through all the stages, of grief, and I made it through finally to acceptance. And I've been working really hard over these last couple weeks to get my head right. Because there's this mantra, what was it? It was action always beats anxiety. You can sit around and be like, oh, woe is me. My relationship's over. My wife is no longer going to be my wife. I have to move. I have to start over. All this stuff. One thing that no one can ever take from you is your knowledge and your experience. You could lose a lot of things, but if you have knowledge and experiences and you've invested in your training, in your mindset, in what you do, in your health, in your body, you're going to be okay, because no one can take that away from you, even if you have to start all over again from scratch. So what I did was I actually packed up and decided to start all over again in North Carolina. I didn't want to go back to Florida. Florida's too hot, too many people, too crowded. I've always wanted to be in North Carolina, and luckily I have some family here. So I decided to relocate back to North Carolina. And I'll tell you what, the weather's going to be a hell of a lot better than Iowa anyway. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm opening up my own clinic, a brand new clinic from just scratch. Don't know anybody, don't know anything, but remember, I have that knowledge and that experience. So I'll be able to have a leg up and be able to hit the ground running. And I'm going to share a lot of that, the ups and downs of doing that over the next couple of weeks on the podcast, what I'm learning in marketing, getting things out there, and really just building a brand new practice based off all my knowledge and my experience over the last 12 years. And I'm going to be opening up in the Raleigh-Durham area. It's going to be starting September 1st. And just a quick note, I'm actually going to be looking to hire 2 awesome massage therapists to come on and be part of the team. So if you're interested in that, or you know someone in the area that really wants to take their shit to the next level and start fixing people, start being a true solutions provider, as I always talk about, have them reach out and get in contact with me. You know, I'm going to be interviewing people and just taking on people that I know can really bust their ass and want to help me on my mission to get this treatment and care to more people so they can stay the fuck away from pain pills, injections, and surgeries. That's the key. That's the mission. Now, a lot of these life changes, as I said before, getting a divorce, having to move, having to start over, building a new practice, beginning all over, are completely out of my control. And the old version of myself, I say like pre-Matt, like 2017, I would have just froze. I would have sunk into depression. I would have stopped working out. I would have ate like shit. I would have ballooned back up to like, 300 pounds. And I would sit around feeling really fucking sorry for myself. Luckily, though, I destroyed that version of myself a few years back by going through the 75 Hard program. I've talked about the 75 Hard program. If you haven't found it out, it's pretty much everyone out there. But basically, it's a mental toughness program built into fitness, eating right and doing it. I covered that on a podcast like a year ago. You can go back and listen to that. But if you're not familiar with the 75 Hard program, it's 75 days straight of 2 exercises per day. One has to be outside. They got to be 45 minutes. You got to drink a gallon of water. You got to read 10 pages of a book. You got to stick to a diet and no alcohol, because there's a lot of things out of your control. And the things you can control are what you put in your brain, what you put in your body, and the thoughts that you have. And that's what I've been doing. I'm on day 14 of 75 Hard, and I'm already seeing the results from it and the mental focus and the clarity, because so many other things are out of my control. I'm trying to get my permits and new lease space and all that, and I can't control any of that shit. But you know what I control each day is how I get up and I attack the day. When I attack the day the right way, I'm going to be in a good place. So if you're really struggling and you're not where you want to be, you're making excuses, you're not happy, you're unhealthy, your business sucks, your relationships suck, check out 75 Hard. It really changed my life and getting back into it again. And it's not something that you just do once, you do it multiple times over and over again. And each time I'm getting a little bit better as I've gone. So during my hiatus from the podcast and moving and all that shit, I've been working behind the scenes to roll out a new and improved training course to help take manual therapists, those of you that are listening, take your treatments and your business to the next level shit. So you can be on the lookout for that. Those things are coming out here soon. I'm going to start rolling those out slowly. And then kind of going forward, this podcast is going to strictly focus on mindset stuff, sales, marketing, and running a kick-ass business, and really showing you how I'm going to start it up from scratch and go from there and share all the things that I've learned in my, going on 12 years of practice and learning and building clinics in multiple areas over and over again. And if you want more of the treatment side of things and, how to be a better clinician, I share a lot of weekly content on my social media channels, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, all the stuff is shared there. And also if you're on my weekly email list as well, you'll get all the clinical side of things to, because everyone wants to be really fucking good at treatment, which is the most important part. But there's other aspects to being a clinician as well, how you market, how you sell, how you get the word out there from what you do, And as I said before, we just revamped all of our free training programs as well as our CEU courses. And if you're interested in any of those, you can follow the links wherever you're consuming this content and ask to learn more, So I'm excited for the next chapter in my life. I'm sorry I've had a hiatus. A lot of people reach out. They're like, are you okay? We haven't heard from you on the podcast. I know this is important. Just had to take some time to get my mind right, get myself in a good place. And I'm telling you, 75 Hard is the way to go. It'll help you eliminate all your bullshit excuses and get yourself to the best version of yourself. Because at the end of the day, you got to keep working your ass off to be great, because it's the only thing that truly pays. We'll be back to our regular scheduled podcast starting next week. I'm going to be able to get some content in. Go check out all our social media channels there. Go grab the free training. It just got revamped. And if you want to go the next level, take one of our CEU courses. They're amazing. And that's not just me saying that. That's from what other people have said. And you can really get to that next level. I appreciate you guys reaching out, checking in on me, and, just making sure I'm doing okay as well. It means the world to me. I love connecting with this community and looking forward to the next chapter of my life. We'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. Thanks so much for listening. If you want help on the path to being able to double your income, all while working 50% less and being taken seriously as a healthcare provider, I have some great resources for you. Number 1, get access to our free training modules and introduction to my system, the Peak Method. Number 2, subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Soft Tissue Revolution. Links to all of this can be found in the show notes. Lastly, if you like the show, please leave us a 5-star review and share it with others that you know it could help.